I'm going to invite my partner, Mr. Blake Mellon, onto the stage to present that one thing. Mr. Mellon. Give it up for Blake, guys.
You guys give it up for our CEO, Ryan Blair. That is a really big problem. Would you guys agree we have a big problem? And if you have a big problem, that means we have to have a really, really big solution. Visalis, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to see the solution? Guys, that problem is decades and decades and decades in the making. That problem has people and company and brands fueling it. That problem is a big problem. And to really stand on stage and even start to attempt to talk about a solution, I need to warn you, it's going to take absolute focus. It's going to take absolute intensity. It's going to take absolute passion. It's going to take absolute commitment on every single one of our parts, even to start the idea of a solution. So before I go into the solution, I need to ask you guys, Visalis, do you think we in this room have what it takes? Do you think we have what it takes? You know, Ryan told the story, and we did sit down, and this has been on myself, Nick, and Ryan's hearts really ever since the start of the challenge in 2009. You heard the story last night, but even more so over the last year or so, when we've seen the power of the Visalis community and the impact we can really make if it's all harnessed and pointed in a single direction. And we started asking ourselves the question that Ryan posed of how do we go out there and be that solution? And we formulated a 3-step plan, 3 simple steps that if we all follow and commit to, I think it can become the catalyst to change. But I have to warn you guys, it's going to take radical action, and I mean radical action. Are you guys ready to see the 3 steps? Real simple. Step number 1. We actually have to face the problem. You guys, Ryan gave you a lot of statistics. I hope a lot of you guys were writing down, and more so as you were writing down, I hope you were actually hearing, sitting in this room, not just watching Ryan speak, but hearing, listening to the situation we're in today. You know, I was sitting back there just watching him on the screen, writing these down, and were you guys hearing him? Were you hearing him? Yeah. Did you guys just hear our CEO up here? Yeah. And I'm sitting down there listening and internalizing that. 7 out of 10 people dealing with this issue. First time ever, more people are obese than suffering from malnutrition in the human species. I don't know about you guys, but I remember growing up where my parents would sit out there and say, you got to finish your food at the table. There are people starving on this planet. And now it's almost the opposite. It's almost, remove that Happy Meal. Don't take those fries. It's a different time. I'm sitting in there writing some of the things that Ryan wrote down. $190 billion in cost that's hitting us right now. $190 billion, 50% of which is on us as taxpayers right now in the United States. $190 billion obesity related. Did he say that by the time our kids are that generation by 2030, did he say that's expected to cost us $1 trillion? Is that what I heard? Did I hear $1 trillion? Did I hear what? $1 trillion. Did I hear him say that 2.8 million people are dying every year? 7,600 or so people a day? Is that what I heard? Do you guys realize that is 2 times the number of people that died in 9/11? 2 times every single day because of this issue? Guys, we have to face the problem. We have to face the problem. We got to create awareness. You should be irked. It should make you feel uncomfortable when Ryan sits out here and lays out those statistics, and then he talks about why we don't see it. You guys, this is the dialogue myself, Nick, and Ryan had, because we look at this and we're like, this is a problem. We all know it's a problem. It affects all of our families. It affects all of our friends. It affects all of our loved ones, yet we don't see it. And then when you dig into all of that and you realize there's 844,000 fast food companies, what did he say with the budget that are spending $4.6 billion advertising to hide the problem? $1.6 billion targeted toward what? Kids? Try the Happy Meal, you get the toy. Eat the burger, we'll give you a crown. Just come in and eat. We got balls and slides for you to run around in. You guys, that's a big problem. That's a big force to fight. It should irk you. It should irk you when you sit out there and go, why doesn't somebody do something about this? Why doesn't our government, why don't our politicians? Did I hear Ryan say that the food lobbyists are currently spending $175 million a year influencing our politicians? Hello? Well, why don't the schools just start teaching it? This is easy. Why don't you just start putting healthy things in the school system? Start them young. Oh, because our schools are broke. And you got the top 3 soda companies that spend hundreds of millions of dollars supporting our schools so that when the kids go in the cafeteria, they see a Coke machine or a Pepsi machine instead of healthy food. That should irk you. You guys, in order for us to even start to attempt to be the solution, someone's got to step up and face the problem. We got to take these statistics, guys, put them out there, point out the holes, point out why it's not being told. Why is there not a face to obesity? You guys, someone's got to get loud. If there's one thing I know about ViSalus is we know how to get loud when we're passionate about something. Someone's got to get loud. And guys, when I say face the problem, I don't just mean create awareness around statistics. I don't just mean become educated around the issue. I don't just mean be able to point out why the story is not being told. When I say we need to face the problem, it can't be about numbers. It's got to be about people. It's weird to me when I think about obesity and I think of the things that I see, I can't even mentally attach an image to it because nobody out there is putting a face on it. Most people are trying to hide the numbers. Every once in a while you see a report. But guys, in order for us to face the problem, we got to create the awareness about the issue. We got to use the facts, but more importantly, we got to make it about people. To face the problem, we have to put a face on the issue. We have to put a face on obesity. Guys, to face the problem, we got to make it about people, and we got to make it about the stories. We got to put a face on obesity. The problem's about people.
Hi. You may know us as Jerry and Estella, the white team, but our real names are Gerald and Estella Hayes. We were on The Biggest Loser 4 years ago. We were 63 years old at the time, and Stella lost 83 pounds, I lost 177 pounds. Oh, by the way, I also won $100,000. I was the at-home winner that season. But what I'm most proud of is I lost 151 pounds at home. Nobody has done that in the 14 seasons of Biggest Loser.
But we're here to tell you a story. And the story was 2 years before The Biggest Loser. We had a wake-up call regarding obesity with my youngest sister, Carol. Carol was a husky child and became a 400-plus adult for most of her life. The Sunday before her retirement at 55, we went to the ER. She coded and died that night. We didn't get the message regarding obesity.
2 years later, we were on The Biggest Loser at the ranch. In the first 45-minute workout, guess what happened? I passed out. I went down, just like Carol. We realized we needed to change, and we did. We got our lives back. This is our story. Every story you share will change somebody like us. We are the face of obesity.
How you guys doing? Some of you may know me as a choreographer, dancer, performer. I've shared the stage with Michael Jackson, Celine Dion, Diana Ross, Jennifer Lopez. But my name is Chris Judd. You know, I travel the country, including Canada, teaching on a dance convention tour called The Pulse, which is based out of Broadway Dance Center in New York City. And over a year, we teach over 30,000 kids. And what we do is that we mold them into becoming the next generation of performers and dancers and artists. And what I've noticed at these conventions, similar to this, all the food that's offered there is nothing but pizza, hamburgers, hot dogs, and cookies. And that's bad. We have to lead by example, and that's why we're here, right? It's up to us to educate the kids about nutrition and being healthy. And it's our responsibility to take care of them. And it starts with us by leading by example. I'm impressed, and thank you so much for having me. And I'm impressed by all these people on stage. Jerry, Estella, Lakin, Ruby, Eric, Todd, Teresa, and the Hulk. Every story that you say to someone can impact a person just like me to be here to help and be a part of the solution. I just want to say thanks. I'm Chris Judd. I am the face of obesity.
You may know me as the Vitality 2012 Female Champion, but my name is Lakin Ozarzak. All throughout my life, I was overweight and was bullied by classmates and teachers. But one moment stuck out particularly. I was 12 years old in 7th grade, and as most junior high students, I had a crush on this really hot guy in school. And he started talking to me. He wanted to walk me home. So I'm like, okay, cool, just go with it. And the next day, the mean girls at my school came up to me at my locker and were like, oh, I heard you and so were going out. Again, no idea at the time what this meant. But I went along with it. this continued on for a couple more days. He'd walk me home, talk to me at school, and then the next day, those same mean girls came up to me and were like, "Oh, I heard you and so broke up." I'm like, again, don't know what that means, so I just went along with it. Okay. Well, by the end of that day, I had found out that I was the butt of a really cruel, it was April Fool's Day joke that day. I went home that day and told my mom, why are they so cruel to me just because I'm different? Why? And she said, just stick yourself in their shoes. And it's something that has stuck with me, that moment. And if it wasn't for experiences like those, like that April Fool's Day joke, I wouldn't be able to be here today on this stage to share my story with you. I managed in 10 months and 21 days to lose 170.5 pounds. Every time you share a story, it could impact a person like me. I am the face of obesity.
Good morning. Most people know me as Miss America 2011. I became the youngest Miss America in over 70 years when I won the crown at just 17 years old, right out of high school. But my family calls me Teresa. My name's Teresa Scanlon. And most of you may be wondering, what on earth does Miss America have to say about obesity? Why would she even care about this issue? Well, let me tell you that as Miss America 2011, as I traveled the country, I saw how obesity impacts the entire nation. My personal platform is on eating disorders awareness, which, let me tell you, is just the other side of the same coin. Whether you are starving yourself to death or eating yourself to death, we are abusing food in this country, and it's time for that to change. Woo! We have to come together to face the issue and make a difference. Why is this issue important to me? Because my family has experienced the impacts of obesity, the tremendous difficulty. My grandpa suffered from obesity and experienced several heart attacks and strokes because of that. And he passed away when I was 3 years old. I'm the middle of 7 children, and he never had the chance to meet my youngest siblings. My dad lost his father when he was just starting a young family from the effects of obesity. Obesity continues to impact my family. It's a struggle for many of us. So I'm on a mission to change that. 2 of my sisters and my mom are now on the challenge with me, because we're coming together to make a change in our lives because we don't want to lose another family member. That's my story. Every story you share can impact somebody like me. I'm the face of obesity.
What's up, ViSalus maniacs? A few of you may know me as Hulk Hogan, but my real name is Terry Bollea. My story goes like this. As a child and as an adolescent, I was always the fattest kid in my class. I lived near the beach my whole life. Finally, one day, I decided to ride my bike to the beach, and on that day, I got up enough courage, and I finally took my shirt off. Well, instead of nipples, I had dimples. And at the end of the day, with everybody talking about how fat I was, I decided to get on my bike and ride home. So I put my shirt on, and when I went to ride my bike, all the spokes had been kicked out of my bike, so I couldn't ride my bike home. So by the time I got home, I told my dad I forgot to lock my bike up and someone stole it. Well, 2 things happened. I never got another bicycle, and I never went back to the beach. And every time I hear or someone shares a story like this, it impacts someone like me because I am the face of obesity.
This is serious time. My name is Eric Rose. I was somewhere between 600-700 pounds, and not anyone you would have ever approached about the challenge because you didn't know I existed. I didn't go outside. I was scared to go in public places. To this day, when I hear people giggling in public places, I assume it's about me. You'll hear, of course I was always a big guy, so no one ever bullied me. But I'd walk through an aisle at Walmart, and when I'd go into the next aisle, you'd hear people start laughing. People asking me, "Oh, you're a big guy. Bigger they are, harder they fall. Do you ever trip? And if you do you bounce?" It's like that's funny but mean. It's if it wasn't for someone like Hulk who put it on Facebook, I wouldn't have got started. And thank you. And stemming from that, I live in a small town, 3,000-4,000 people, and in my story, I've got eight people in the Century Club. I have 2 people closing in on 200 pounds, and it's amazing. And I'm working on my 3. If it wasn't, you got to tell stories like these because you never know who they'll impact. And I am the face of obesity, guys.
Hey y'all, some of y'all know me as Ruby from the Ruby Show on Style Network. My friends and myself know me as 700 pounds, 600 pounds, 500 pounds, 400 pounds, and now 300 pounds. My life has, and I never realized, but my life has always been about a number on the freaking scale. I've always been the weight, but nobody saw me. You don't see me. None of y'all saw Ruby at 700 pounds. People see disgust. They see lazy. They see glutton, gross. You don't see us. People laugh at us, make fun of us. But we're real, we're human beings that got stuck in an addiction and we don't even know how. But we're a walking billboard. When other people have addictions, they can hide it, we can't hide ours. My mission, I love what they're doing. It's incredible because this is the lowest I've ever gotten is 328. And I'm finding out who Ruby is without the weight. She's a human being, and I'm realizing that. And I want y'all to realize that when y'all share a story like mine, that you're gonna impact so many people because look at me, and I mean look at me. Because really, I am the face of obesity.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Reynolds. I go by Todd. And being at 600 pounds, homebound, not able to see the outside world, couldn't even fit in a car or drive a car, having to use a wheelchair, a walker, and a cane, learning all over to walk again. Watching the Ruby Show motivated me. Vitalis gave me my life back and even more. I have lost a total of 323 pounds. 15 months. Every story you share could impact a person like me. I am the face at obesity.
Thank you, guys.
It's not about numbers, it's about people. And it's not about just the people on this stage, it's about every single one of us in the room. Because if every single one of us take on the ownership that we all are the face of obesity, then we will face the problem. Visalis, are you ready to be the face of obesity? Are you ready to face the problem? Step one, we got to face the problem. The way you face the problem is you share a story. You attach a face to the issue. But after we face the problem, we have to provide a solution. We have to provide a what? How many of you guys, are you listening? Can you hear me? How many of you know with every fabric of your being? How many of you believe? I'm talking full faith, zero doubt, absolute congruence. When you have a conversation with someone about the challenge, about our products, about our company, about our community, you know without a shadow of a doubt, we have a solution to their problem. How many of you believe that? You guys all know you're the leaders of a fastest growing company in the weight loss and fitness industry. You know the growth record. You know the stories. You know, when I was on the Founders Tour bouncing around from city to city, I had someone pull me aside in one of the early events, and they said, Blake, what made you guys roll out the new Body by Vi challenge? You guys, let's be clear. We didn't have to. We were already number what? Already number what? We were already number one. We already had 1.5 million people join the challenge last year. We already crushed every record within this industry. We didn't have to go out there and add 6 new reasons to take on the challenge this year. We didn't have to. The reason we did it is myself, Nick, and Ryan found ourselves in those same conversations last year. And we realized with everything we've done, as much of the people you'll see cross the stage, all the numbers of people joining the challenge, you guys, we have barely yet to even scratch the surface of making a dent on the problem. There is so much more we can and so much more we need to do. Would you agree with me, Visalis? That's why we rolled out the new Body by Vi challenge. That's why we said, we'll throw in a 90-day guarantee, remove any reason for someone not to at least give the challenge a chance. That's why we said we're going to throw in more money, more prizes, more incentives to get people to make that mental jump that they can do this. That's why we said we're going to do everything we can to give every last person every support they need to succeed on their challenge, so we could go out there and say, look, we are that solution. There was one thing that I know a lot of you guys heard in the Founders Tour events. You've heard us ranting about ever since January. It was the one thing when we rolled out the new challenge, there were giant red arrows pointing to that. There was one thing you're probably sick of hearing of by now. There was one thing we said, if we get this right, it will create a movement. What was the one thing with the new challenge you guys have been hearing about for the last 60 days? What is it? What is it? Project 10. We can get the slides up, guys. You guys, Project 10. How many of you have already seen Project 10 start to make an impact within your organizations in cities and states across North America? Guys, it's working. 9,000 people have already submitted their I Want It. 1,600 people have already submitted, then lost it, rocking their t-shirts. Guys, over 1,600 people. I see checks out here. Some of them even carry their checks with them everywhere they go. Guys, Project 10 is the lowest common denominator of the challenge. It's the one thing that everybody, who? Everybody, every customer, every promoter can focus on. It's the one thing that when someone gets started on the challenge, they can focus on losing those first 10 pounds or building that 10 pounds of muscle. Guys, it's the one thing that if we align everybody on, we will start to make an impact. How many of you guys believe that? How many of you believe that? But here's the problem. Even if we continue to do what we're doing with Project 10, even if we go out there and reach everybody across North America and what you'll hear later today into Europe, even if we help every adult out there lose 10 pounds and start moving toward their overall weight loss and fitness goal, even if we accomplish everything we set out to do, here's the scary fact, guys, it still won't solve the problem. It's only half the solution. Because even if we helped every adult on this planet erase the weight issues they're dealing with, get healthy, here's the problem. There's a whole next generation of kids, and there's even more of them that are dealing with this issue. You guys see, we rolled out Project 10 in January to focus everybody on the first part of the solution. But as you heard Ryan out here talk about the statistics, talk about our kids, if our goal, if our mission was really to provide a solution to the obesity epidemic, if that was our goal, if that was the mission, to eradicate obesity on planet Earth, is what I think I heard our CEO said, if that was the mission, guys, then wouldn't we have to find a way to help both generations at the exact same time in parallel? Yes or no? Wouldn't we have to find a way not only to educate and provide a solution to the parents, but at the same time educate and provide a solution to the next generation? Wouldn't we have to do both at the same time if we really wanted to provide a solution? Yes or no? Here's a sad fact. At least in North America, we're not even allowed to market weight loss to kids. We can throw soda machines in schools. We can put toys in Happy Meals. We can spend billions in advertisement, but we can't even market a solution to kids. So what if, hypothetically, what if we came up with a way that we could simultaneously drop weight off the world across every generation? If we can continue to focus on what we're already focusing on, educating and empowering the adults, and at the exact same time reach down and change the next generation of kids coming up. What if we could do both at the exact same time? Would you guys be interested? That was weak. I'm not even going to go into it. Okay. What if every single time someone got on the challenge, lost 10 pounds, in addition to rocking the t-shirt, in addition to winning a possible big check, what if for every single time everybody in this room, everybody in your team, and everybody across the world just loses 10 pounds on our challenge? Visalis, not you, not them, Visalis will reach down for every single person that loses it and pay it forward to help a kid dealing with the issue right here in the United States. What if for every I Lost It t-shirt, a bag of shake got sent to a kid dealing with this issue? What if every time someone lost 10 pounds, they knew they were reaching down and helping our next generation? Guys, rolling out for the first time, the second half of Project 10. We like to call it Project 10 Kids. I think you guys are getting it. You guys, how cool is it gonna be that every conversation you'll have from this point forward is you can join the challenge, you can lose it for yourself, you can lose it for the t-shirt, you can lose it for the check, but beyond and above all of that, you can lose it to help the kids of the next generation. How cool is it that every time you see an I Lost It t-shirt, not only is it a badge of honor for that person, but you know that t-shirt represents that we reached down and sent a shake to a kid dealing with this issue. Can you please stand up if you've already lost it on Project 10? Can you please stand up? Can you please stand up? By the way, for all of you guys standing and everybody that's lost it, we're gonna send a shake bag to a kid in need on behalf of all of you that have already done it. Guys, we're going to attack the issue across both generations at the exact same time, and you don't have to do anything different than you're already doing right now. You show people that we have the solution. You show people how to lose 10 pounds or gain 10 pounds. They do it for themselves. They lose. The kids win. That's what Project 10 Kids is all about. You guys like it? You guys will get details after this event, but I want you to know this will be now in addition to the whole Community Challenge program. Not only we as a company are partnering with a variety of medical clinics, philanthropies, charities that are dealing with childhood obesity and weight-related issues, but now you as promoters, as the community, can go partner up with local charities, medical centers, after-school programs. You'll be able to add them to the Community Challenge. Not only will we donate, but anybody can donate. Anybody that does donate will match meal for meal, just like the Community Challenge. And because we're dealing with kids, we're also going to be adding cookies where you can donate cookies and we'll match cookie for cookie on the Community Challenge. Step one, we face the problem. The way we face the problem is we create awareness. We make it about people. And we attach a face to obesity. Step two is we provide a solution. The challenge is the solution. Now, for both generations at the exact same time, last step, and this is the step that we're great at, guys, last step, step three is we mobilize a movement around the solution. And if there's one thing I know about Visalis is we're really good at mobilizing a movement. Are you guys with me? If I can get the slides up on the screens, I want to paint a quick picture for you when I say mobilize a movement. There's over 10,000 people in this room right now. Do you realize if 10,000 people, just between now and Vitality, if all we did is lose 10 pounds ourselves and help 3 people do the same. That seems to be our magic number around here. Help 3 people do the same. If 10,000 people each help 3 people do the same, that would be 40,000 people with their I Lost It t-shirt, which means we're sending a bag of shake to 40,000 kids by Vitality. Guys, just starting with the people in this room. How many of you guys would love to see come Vitality, kids take this stage, real Project 10 Kids, where you can see faces that we're making an impact on? Are you guys willing to lose it to help them win it, yes? Guys, that's with us in the room. If you take those 3 and help them refer their 3, which they want to do anyway because they get their product for what? Free. You add the numbers up, now we've reached 100,000 kids. You guys know I like to play with numbers. Let me go big picture here to show you that this is possible. When we say we're providing a solution, this is a possible solution. There's over 12 million or so kids right now just in the United States that are obese. 12 million. Last year, we had nearly 1.5 million people join the challenge. That's 1.5 million people last year. I don't know about you guys, but I plan on having a whole lot more people join the challenge this year than last year. You guys up for that mission? What if all we did this year was double? And I think by the time we leave on Sunday, you're going to see a very clear path on how we can do that. But what do we say this year we double, and that means we have 3 million people join the challenge this year. Do you guys realize if 3 million people who could join the challenge this year, that's possible? Just reach out, pay it forward, and help 3 other people do the exact same thing. Do you guys realize that's 12 million people? That means we could literally send a bag of shake to every single kid in the United States that's dealing with obesity. Just with those numbers right there, it's possible. It's possible. Guys, it's a big issue. Are you willing to face the problem? Are you willing to face the problem? Are you willing to face the problem? Are you willing to provide a solution? Are you willing to provide a solution? How many of you guys are excited about Project 10 Kids? And are you willing and ready to mobilize a movement to end the obesity epidemic? By Salas, let me hear you if you're ready.